What's up, my beautiful people? This is your boy Stefan, your Afro-Grenadian ambassador. Welcome back to my channel. A pleasant good night, a pleasant good afternoon, a pleasant good morning, whichever part of the world that you are in. I thank you for watching. I thank you for logging in. Thank you so much to my subscribers, returning subscribers, new viewers. I thank you so much. I acknowledge all of you. You are greatly appreciated. And a big shout out to my gold member, Mr. Bern Noel. In today's video, brothers and sisters, we will be talking about the Caribs and the Arawaks, also known as the Kalinagos people. What really happened to the Arawaks and the Caribs, or the Caribs and the Arawaks, in particular the Arawaks? In the history books, we have evidence, somewhat evidence, of an idea what took place with the Caribs. But when it comes to the Arawaks, also known as the Taino people, it is sometimes a mystery of what happened to the Arawaks. Some believe that the Arawaks and the Caribs were completely extinguished, was completely eradicated by the Europeans and the Spaniards. Some believe that a disease, wiped them out. But what really happened to the Arawaks and Caribs? Some disagrees that the Caribs and the Arawaks survived despite the odds. The Caribs and the Arawaks survived, because there are evidence of the Carib population and the Arawak population are still evident today in some parts or some country in the Caribbean. Okay, so their population is still existent today in some parts of the Caribbean. Places like Dominica. Dominica still have a strong Carib presence, although they are a minority there. The Carib presence is strong there, very evident. And there is a little village in Dominica where you can find the tradition and the descendant of Carib people still living and still existing. Also in Saint Vincent. Saint Vincent also have a strong, some say it's Arawak, some say it's Caribs. So those of you who are listening, and if I have any Saint Vincentians that are listening here, can you help us understand, is it the Caribs or the Arawaks that is present in St. Vincent? Because there is a trace of the Kalinagos people, because the Carib and the Arawaks are known as Kalinagos people they are the Kalinagos people, of the Caribbean. Okay? And the Kalinagos people are divided into two ethnic groups or two tribes. They are, well, not two ethnic groups. They are one ethnic groups because they are all native Indians that are separated into two tribes: the Caribs and the Arawaks. The Arawak was known to be a peaceful set of people. The Caribs were known to be fighters, a fierce set of people. They were very warlike in their ways, They sought for what they want through violence. And that was the Caribs. That was the personality of Caribs. The Arawaks were more on the easygoing side. They didn't want to they didn't want war. They want to live a peaceful life as much as possible. Now we're going to delve into the migration map of the Carib and the Arawaks, and how they have migrated over the years from South America into the Caribbean. Okay, so according to this migration map of the Kalinago people, the Kalinago people started their movements in searching for better opportunities in settling and relocating in other areas long before they even thought of coming into the Caribbean. Okay, so it is said, um, it is said that they started the movement approximately around 2,500 years ago. 1,500 to 2,500 years ago. Now, 600 years after, they started their movements into the Caribbean, as we can see. Okay. Now, the migration of the Kalinago people, they migrated mainly from the continent of South of America, which we also know as Latin America. Okay. And it is said, the argument, some people say that the Kalinago people did not originate from Latin America. Some say that they came all the way from the continent of Africa. I don't know, that's just assumptions, but I don't know how true that is. But what I do know, what history do tells us, is that the indigenous people, or the Kalinago people, the Caribs and the Arawaks, they originated from South America. So if anyone knows better, you can comment in the comment section below. Now, the Caribs, which we are looking at the purple, they occupied the Lesser Antilles. And the Taínos, or the Arawaks, they occupied some of the bigger islands to the north, places like Hispaniola, which we now know as modern day Haiti, and Dominican Republic, and Jamaica. Also, Taino people once settled, or once inhabited, the island of Jamaica. And we are also seeing, according to this map, the Bahamas also got the fair share of the Taino people that once used to be there. So I don't know how accurate this map is. So as I said, anyone that offer deeper knowledge when it comes to the Arawaks and the Caribs, because it is a fascination when it comes to the Arawaks and Caribs. Okay. The Arawaks is very, I myself love to research the Arawaks and the Caribs, because when you look at how they lived and the pattern and how they moved and migrated, it's very interesting to me. This history plays an important role in who we are as a people. Okay. Now, coming back to the Arawaks and Caribs, as we can see, is that in the Lesser Antilles, it is said that the Arawaks once used to occupy the Lesser Antilles, but they were chased out by the Caribs, because the Caribs used to ever so often harass them. And as I said earlier on, the Arawaks was a tribe that, or a type of Amerindians that did not like too much of war. They didn't like the fighting. They always wanted peace. They were a peaceful people. They wanted to live a life of peace. So because of the Caribs ever so often harassing them, history says that ever so often the Caribs will raid the Arawaks, and they will take the women as wives, and then they will execute the men, the captured men. They will execute them and kill them. So the Arawaks wanted to live a life of peace, and was annoyed with what the Caribs were doing to them. They soon packed up their things and migrated farther to the bigger islands to the north, which we now know as the Greater Antilles, and they stayed there for quite some time. Now, the Caribs were hunters. They were very, again, they hunted a lot. Yes, they fish a lot, but the Arawaks were known to be the fishers. The Arawaks spent a great deal of time fishing. The Caribs spent a great deal of time hunting. But both of them shared the same food. They ate the same food, like cassava. They planted yam. They planted a lot of things. Now I want to make it quite clear is that the Kalinago people did not entirely or totally or completely migrated to the Caribbean. History says that some of the Kalinago people, both Carib and Arawaks, stayed back on the continent of Latin America. Some of them, dwelt or inhabited the coastal parts of Latin America, bordering the Amazon River. Right? They loved the coastal areas where they could get access to water, and they loved to live in places where there was a lot of animals where they can hunt for food and meat. And even today, there is still also a very strong presence of the Kalinago people in countries like Guyana. Yes, I think there is some in Suriname as well. Some in Suriname can be found, and different parts of Latin America. So let me make that quite clear that the Kalinago people did not entirely move to the Caribbean. Some of them stayed on the continent, and some migrated to move further north to the Caribbean islands, okay, for whatever reasons. Okay, some maybe did it for better opportunities, some maybe did it because of curiosity's sake, some maybe did it because they want adventure. So they all had the different reasons why they migrated, but some of the Kalinago people stayed back on the continent of Africa. All right, not Africa, but South America. All right, they did not travel to the Caribbean with the other Kalinagos or Carib and Arawaks. Now, so it's very interesting what really happened to the Carib and Arawaks. Some people are questioning the story that was taught to us in school by, the story of Christopher Columbus, and upon discovering the Caribbean island in around 1492 thereabout, he met, most of the islands he discovered, he met these islands full of native Indians, where the Kalinago people, better known as Kalinago people, right? The Kalinago people were known as native Indians. Sometimes they were called Red Indians, Red Amerindians. Yes, so and I think that's where the West Indian name derived from, because of this part of history, because of the indigenous native Indians inhabiting the Caribbean, and we get this word West Indian. All right, so as I said, some of you with deeper knowledge, you can correct me or you can expound on that. Now, also, I was very surprised while doing my research. The word hurricane, barbecue, canoe, all of these words are words that we inherited from the indigenous people. These were words that were used by the Arawaks and the Caribs. So as you can see, brothers and sisters, the history of the Caribbean is very rich and unique, and it's very diverse. Okay, it's very diverse, right? And that is why I love the Jamaican motto, not this looking down on the other mottos of the Caribbean, but the Jamaican motto, which says, "Out of many, we are one people. Out of many, one people." That motto suits who we are as Caribbean people. Out of many, one people, because out of many, they meaning our history came from many places. Our ancestors came from many places. All right, as a Caribbean people. Now, I'm not speaking I'm not speaking for Afro Caribbeans only. I'm speaking on a broad term. As Caribbeans, our ancestors came from different places, but we are one people. The fact that we are black people dwelling here in the Caribbean, and they're not only black Caribbeans, but they are even white Caribbeans, Chinese Caribbean, Asian Caribbean, out of many one people. It's like a pilau, all kind of things in one pot. Yes. Despite of the different ethnicities that we have in the Caribbean, we cannot be divided among ourselves, because the fact that we are Caribbean people, we are from, we are from the Caribbean. We are from the Caribbean, and as Caribbean, we are descendants of diversity of ancestors. We are descendants of different forefathers, different people that came from all kind of places. So out of many, one people. So I try to explain out of many, one people, right? Out of many, one people, but a Jamaican can explain that to you very well. But I try to, if you guys understand where I'm coming from. Yeah, so what, in the Caribbean, like here in Grenada, we got our fair share of the Arawaks. And this story is the story that was told to us is that the Arawaks were eradicated from the island. They were subject to enslavement, and the Arawaks, not the Arawaks, but the Caribs refused. Now, those of you who do not know, I featured this. We have a historical site here with the Carib people where they jump. We call Lippers Hill. I featured that some time back, as you can see on the screen. And the Lippers Hill story goes like this, that the Caribs were ambushed one evening by the French colonizers that was once occupying Grenada. They wanted to enslave the island Caribs that were dwelling here in Grenada, but the island Caribs says, no way, over our dead bodies, and they jump and leap to the deaths. They rather die than submit themselves to colonization or submit themselves to slavery. Now, some Grenadians do not buy into that story. Okay? Some Grenadians says, yes, the Caribs did leap to their deaths, but not all of them died. Okay? Some say that some Caribs escaped and went into hiding. Some escaped and went to other islands. And the story is that while some of the Caribs that went into hiding, they remained in hiding until our African foreparents were brought in, and the Caribs started to mingle with the Africans. And that is why we get we get this admixture that I was talking about when it comes to Douglas and whatnot. So I don't know how credible this story is, but these are some stories that some people I have heard from certain Grenadians. They say that they don't believe that the Carib escaped. Now, how I personally feel about that is that I kind of lean to that as well. I don't believe, because growing up or going to school, we were told the Caribs left to their deaths. All of them died. They drowned. But I want to believe that some of the Caribs escaped and they went into hiding and they started mingling with the Africans that were brought here on the island. Some of them escaped and went to other islands. So yeah, that is it. The the history of the indigenous people, the Kalinagos people, is very interesting, very much interesting. Okay, so that's it for me, brothers and sisters. I think I will stop here. Those of you who are listening, if you have a wider and a deeper knowledge of or more information that I have left out, you can share with us in the comment section below. I'm grateful for that. Educate us, but especially our brothers and sisters in Dominica and St. Vincent, who still has a population, or who still have a population of Caribs, especially Caribs and Arawaks as well, because there is a small percentage of Arawaks population that is still evident as well. Let us know, people in Guyana. Let us know, viewers in Guyana, if you are viewing, let us know. Educate us about this unique, special part of our history here in the Caribbean, the native Amerindians, the Kalinagos people, the Caribs and the Arawaks. They were special indeed. They were very special. As much as our African history is special, our ancestors that were brought over from the motherland, the history of the Amerindians are special as well, because we all came from different areas, but we are one people. Because the Indians, the native Indians, started to mingle with the Africans, and the Indians that were brought from India as well started to mingle with the Africans. And that is what makes the Caribbean a unique place. That is what is making the Caribbean trending as well. The Caribbean is trending. If you haven't noticed, these days the Caribbean have been in the spotlight, and we are a unique set of people, and I am proud of that. I am proud to be a Douglas who is an African descendant born in the Caribbean. God bless you. Take care until we see again.